Without even playing a down of professional football, Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence is becoming a household name. You've seen the long flowing blonde hair of the statuesque 6'6" frame of the new face of college football. Well, and if you haven't, you will. After reaching back-to-back national title games and only losing one so far in his college career, there might not be a more sought-after or talked-about prospect in the game today. But these are all things you probably know. Before we dive into the things you don't know about Trevor Lawrence, do me a favor and hit that subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things football. All done? Perfect. On to our list. Trevor Lawrence was phenomenal in high school. As you can imagine, most athletes that are superstars in college were probably cheat codes in high school. And if you guessed that was the case for Trevor Lawrence back at Cartersville High School, you were right. So just how good was Lawrence back in high school? Trevor Lawrence became the full-time starter just 3 games into his freshman season and was spectacular, to say the least. After he was given the reins, all Trevor did was go 52-2 as the starting quarterback. He also amassed a 41-game winning streak. He etched his name into Georgia lore by setting the state's all-time passing yards record with 13,908 yards, breaking fellow phenom Deshaun Watson's state record. Oh yeah, he also passed for 161 touchdowns. During his senior year at Cartersville, Lawrence passed for a ridiculous 41 touchdowns, throwing only 2 interceptions. That is as dominant as it gets. Could you imagine having to go up against that in high school? All the praise heaped on Lawrence during his high school career was certainly warranted, as the QB has met and exceeded expectations at the college level. Trevor was known for being uncoordinated when he was a kid. You heard that right. College superstar and all-world talent Trevor Lawrence was once considered uncoordinated. Well, the most coordinated, uncoordinated kid, according to his uncle. On one hand, Trevor flashed athleticism while playing basketball, football, and baseball with the kids around his block, but was known for always tripping over himself and wasn't exactly the first kid selected when it came to sports. As Trevor's love for sports grew, so did his coordination and dedication. As he grew a little older, his talent for football began to show and went from being somewhat uncoordinated to somewhat of a phenom. See, hard work does pay off. Tank for Trevor, it's real. Well, teams never admittedly tank for coveted draft picks, but there are many that believe that multiple teams will indeed tank for the quarterback prospect and are already in the process of doing so. At just 20 years old, Trevor Lawrence is considered a generational talent who's already been compared to the likes of Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and John Elway. Many in the football world also feel that Lawrence would have been the number 1 pick if he had been able to enter the draft his freshman year at Clemson. Lucky for college football fans, the NCAA's eligibility requirements kept Trevor in college, where he's helped further solidify himself as a top draft pick when he's finally eligible after this upcoming season. Whether there is actually a college football season or not, Trevor will meet the 3 years removed from high school requirement and be eligible for the 21 NFL draft. We'll see if teams actually tank for Trevor or not, but some in the media are already pointing fingers at the Jags and the Patriots and their questionable offseason as the leading tank for Trevor candidates. We'll see what happens during the upcoming fall and spring, but one thing is for sure, unless Lawrence were to have a catastrophic junior season at Clemson, his name will be called early in the 2021 NFL Draft, and teams will be vying for him. Trevor Lawrence proposed to his girlfriend at Clemson's Memorial Stadium. True story. Mr. Football himself, Trevor Lawrence, took a knee in the middle of the football field, and it wasn't to run out the clock. It was to propose to his longtime girlfriend and high school sweetheart, Marissa Mowry. Lawrence posted the moment on his Instagram page, and the two couldn't look happier. One of many rings Lawrence is sure to be part of during his football career. We'll all be watching Trevor. Best of luck to the young couple. Now, Trevor Lawrence's fiancée is also a college athlete. Trevor's fiancée, Marissa Mowry, plays soccer at the private university in Anderson, South Carolina called, well, Anderson University. She's a midfielder for her school's soccer team and has started in 16 of the 25 games she's been eligible for. Anderson University is just a short drive from Clemson, in case you guys were worried about the young couple who, judging by their social media, they spend a lot of time together. Hey, a midfielder is essentially the quarterback of the soccer team, so the couple have more than just being athletes in common. They also know how to lead. Trevor raised money for COVID-19 relief. It's nice to see athletes doing their part to provide aid to those in need during the trying times for many who are struggling. Now, what's interesting in Lawrence's case is that he's still in college. Most of the athletes and figures that you see and hear throwing their money around to help the cause are raking in millions of dollars during their day job. Trevor Lawrence and his fiancée Marissa Mowry gained support by using a GoFundMe and posted a video of their campaign on their respective Instagram pages. The proceeds from the GoFundMe went to the organizations Meals on Wheels and No Kid Hungry. They also partnered with the Community Foundation of Northwest Georgia, where the funds were held before they decided which nonprofits to help get financially stable. The video is still up on Trevor's Instagram page, and it's a big reminder that we don't have to make millions of dollars to make an impact during a crisis like this. Way to go, Trevor. Trevor Lawrence's freshman year at Clemson was one for the record books. He threw for an FBS record-setting 30 touchdown passes as a true freshman with only 4 interceptions. Keep in mind, he wasn't fully given the reins to Clemson's quarterback situation until Game 5. His true freshman passing stats were good enough for a near-perfect 157.6 quarterback rating. His record was later broken by North Carolina's Sam Howell, but well, Trevor went on to achieve more than just passing stats in his freshman season, as he was named the ACC Rookie of the Year and was given the Archie Griffin Award, which is given to the most valuable player of the entire season, regardless of position. Lawrence won a national title as a freshman. Numbers don't lie, but they also don't always paint the entire picture. We just talked about how statistically special Trevor was in his first year at Clemson, but what's even more impressive is that Lawrence won the nation's biggest prize as a true freshman, the national title. The signal calling duties were Trevor's alone after the starting quarterback transferred and led his Clemson Tigers to an undefeated season and a 44-16 victory over collegiate powerhouse Bama. Trevor Lawrence was just 3 months removed from turning 19 years old when he beat the Crimson Tide, and after the blowout win over Nick Saban, Lawrence quickly became a household name. He also became the first true freshman to be a starting quarterback for a national championship team since 1985. Perhaps we can point to this moment in history when the idea was formed for NFL teams to consider the Tank for Trevor campaign a couple of years down the road. Trevor Lawrence keeps the faith. He's been quoted as saying he has a strong relationship with Christ and has stated that his God-given abilities were well given to him by God. According to Lawrence, I don't think anyone has abilities for no reason. I don't think anything is a coincidence. God gave me these things for a reason, not just talent on the field, but other opportunities to be a light to people. Lawrence has lit up college football for 2 years, and with his belief in self coming directly from the man upstairs, we expect Lawrence to continue his crusade on defenses and college record books before making his leap to the pros. Lawrence's faith has been well documented as he has posted about it on social media and has also stated his strong belief in Christ during a 2018 press conference. Lawrence's fiancée Marissa Mowry shares his faith and has posted about her faith on Instagram. Trevor Lawrence's legend started in middle school. Trevor Lawrence is good at football, and his football acumen didn't happen overnight. Back in Trevor's hometown of Cartersville, he was becoming a name to be known all the way back in middle school. Head coach of Lawrence's high school football team, Joey King, he had caught wind of Trevor. After hearing how great he was, he wanted to take a look for himself. Now, he didn't normally entertain 8th grade athletes as he felt their learning curve was a little steep. But Lawrence was allowed to attend spring practices. At 6'2", Trevor immediately stood out, and it wasn't just for his stature. According to King, Lawrence was able to read defenses and hit receivers in stride. After a bad snap, Lawrence was able to improvise and still find receivers downfield. King was impressed enough to make Lawrence his starter when he became a freshman, and Lawrence would prove him right by going on to win 2 state championships, and the rest, they say, is history. There you have it. that completes our list of 10 things you didn't know about Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. If you knew some of these things, you're ahead of the game, and feel free to pat yourselves on the back. If you didn't, there's no shame in that, and that's why you subscribe to us, as we're happy to keep you informed on the name that will be known by all soon enough. If there's anything we missed, let us know by dropping us a comment. Until next time, sports fans, stay safe out there.